2023 has been one for the books.
Have a good day.
And Southern New England has prospered.
What can be done with people working together?
We've watched as strangers turned friends.
You know, there's still good people out here.
As acts of kindness changed lives.
Not all heroes wear capes.
And how something so simple could mean so much.
I feel happy.
Through the ups and the downs, you've stuck by each other.
Everybody's having a tough time right now.
The sacrifice.
It made me feel really happy that I was doing something good.
The sincerity.
You know, I was ever in need, I would hope somebody was there to help me.
The little moments that meant the most.
I can't describe a better feeling.
Thank you for inviting us along to witness the joy.
It's what I live for.
As you showed us something good.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Thanksgiving. So good to have you with us. I'm Sam Reed.
And I'm Mario Hilario. For an entire half hour, we'll be bringing you good news only here from the beautiful grounds of Blythewell Mansion in Bristol.
We've been showing you something good since 2020 when the pandemic first hit.
With unfortunate things happening in the world, we began shining a light on the good. And there's more of it than you might think.
We've told more than 600 stories of people and positivity, and we've learned that kindness can change the world.
And we've certainly seen a lot of that this year. Gloucester's Bill Brown has volunteered countless hours cleaning all of the town's veteran cemeteries. He's uncovered hundreds of graves, making sure no veteran is forgotten.
It was the disrespect that I saw. I just said, this can't be.
Longtime Bristol postal worker Tom Vaccaro is kind to all customers, going above and beyond, handing out candy to show he cares.
I like doing it to make people's day, make it a little special.
In Coventry, a group of strangers helped a veteran low on luck by filling her apartment with furniture she desperately needed.
I'm so thankful for everybody helping me.
Volunteers stepped up to the plate in South Kingstown to completely renovate a longtime umpire's home in disrepair.
What can be done with people working together?
A Warwick woman who beat cancer surprises others fighting it with a cash donation to do whatever they please. And known as the Coventry Coat Angel, every year Cynthia Jacobs donates hundreds of new coats to kids in need thanks to the kindness of the community. A woman paid for the groceries of a stranger who left his wallet at home. He's battling Alzheimer's and forgot it.
It doesn't cost anything to be nice to people.
Excuse me, would you like to donate $1 to Alzheimer's, okay?
And Tommy Dwyer walks the streets of Providence daily, collecting a $1 donation, which he then donates to the Alzheimer's Association.
And a Warwick man went above and beyond to help lift the spirits of a Cranston girl who's been going through a tough time. For almost 12 years, Isabella Major has been an only child up until about a week ago, when this golden retriever joined the family.
I've always wanted a dog just for comfort and just to make me feel good and happy.
Feeling good is really important right now. In June of 2022, Izzy was diagnosed with leukemia, and since then, the lifelong dancer and her family have had to make some major adjustments. After learning about the leukemia, Stephen Barbado reached out to his former coworker, Izzy's mom, Marilyn Martins.
I wanted to know if there's anything I could do to help, even maybe just put a smile on her face.
Though it was tough to get it out of her, he eventually learned Izzy really wanted a puppy, so he put plans in motion.
When I asked her what she would name the dog, is what really broke my heart a little bit, is she said Baxter, and I said, why Baxter? And she said, because that's the name of the machine that gives me my chemo.
Steve put out a call on social media asking others for help, and in just a few days, the dog was donated by Suncoast Transmission and Performance in Florida, and his friends flew down to pick up the pup and fly him home to Rhode Island. Izzy was introduced to her brand new best friend, Baxter.
I did start to cry. It just makes me feel happy and it takes my mind off of things that, like, if I do have bad days, now I know that he'll be here with me.
Marilyn can't stress how much this means to their family. And just like the origination of his name, Baxter is already working wonders.
And I'm truly a firm believer that not all heroes wear capes. And Steve is one of them.
While adults have gone out of their way to show something good, so many children have proven the grown-ups haven't cornered the market when it comes to creating positivity with their actions. After learning some kids in Cranston didn't get things like cake or presents for their birthday, students at the St. Paul School created and donated birthday bags.
I hope they feel joy.
And speaking of birthdays, instead of presents, a Westerly toddler asked for donations to the Ronald McDonald House, where her parents stayed while she was in the NICU.
And I hope it sets a good example and she keeps it going.
A North Kingstown High School senior created a free beach toy library so no kid would go without.
Will you go home with me, Ryan?
Yes. Students at Pilgrim High School helped a classmate with a surprise promposal. Riley's bouquets are not only beautiful, but the 12-year-old picks and creates them each year to raise money for those fighting cancer. And a 12-year-old Portsmouth boy who was bullied for having long hair spent years growing it out for kids with cancer. He made a selfless donation.
It made me feel really happy that I was doing something good.
9-year-old Theo Durson puts his sales talents to the test. He raised more than $2,000 for Hesbro Children's Hospital.
And it felt good.
While Theo is only 9 years old, we've seen people of all ages accomplishing their goal or doing something good. 71-year-old Gail Davis is now Dr. Davis.
You're never too old, and it's never too late.
73-year-old Paul Topham of Attleboro is tough and built like a brick. He won the national powerlifting competition in his bracket.
Keeps me young.
In Richmond, this 92-year-old is still fixing up beat-up bikes and helping the community when he can.
It makes me feel good.
Age is only a number for 100-year-old Florence Katz and her best friend, 6-year-old Marcel Genesee, who visits her every week.
He's one of my best friends.
And for her 97th birthday, Marie Erickson of Swansea saved up her money for years so she could buy herself a birthday gift, a John Deere lawnmower that she's put to good use.
I still got all my marbles, and it's the money I saved. I'm going to buy this tractor, and I did.
And a retired firefighter from Chepachet who also loves things with wheels turned his passion into positivity.
Buckle up for the one-of-a-kind ride. Right off the road at 474 Putnam Pike in Chepachet, Harmony Products sells things like home-raised honey and other specialty items. But right out front, there's a big blue train.
It's a love project, I guess you'd call it.
And while it may look like it's only for show, it's actually...
Let's take a train ride.
In service.
I always like to say that the train runs on diesel fuel, but the engineer runs on smiles.
Owner Russ Gross says what started out as a retirement goal quickly turned into a positive pandemic project.
It was a way to pay the taxes, pay the bills, share the land, spread a little joy.
The former firefighter has always been fascinated by the railroad.
I used to have model trains like a lot of little boys do, and I never had the patience to do the scenery on the layout.
And since he had the land and a love for the locomotive, he hopped on board with the idea of bringing one to life.
It lets me be a little kid.
In November of 2020, he went to work and laid down about a half a mile of train tracks. Then he ordered the train that was built in Texas.
We have 18 seats.
Since opening, the outdoor experience has been gaining traction.
It was amazing. It was a lot of sweat and a lot of hard work, but it was totally worth it the first time we went around with passengers.
It's $5 for adults, and kids under 3 are free.
The whole thing's a family vibe.
Russ also offers military discounts.
I like to think we do old-fashioned entertainment at an old-fashioned price.
To date, roughly 12,000 people have hopped aboard.
There's so much wrong with the world. We try and have a little spot of relaxation. You come and unplug for a few minutes.
Russ says when all is said and done, looking back on his labor of love was well worth the ride.
If any of my former co-workers or firefighter friends are listening, I hope they don't listen, because I thought that was the best job in the world, but now I have the best job in the world. It's that old saying, find something to do that you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I haven't worked since I retired.
Coming up, the holidays are here, and we've seen the celebrations of all of them year-round.
Plus, the backbone of our community's small businesses, they've done a lot of good.
Welcome back to our half-hour special of Good News Only.
The holidays are here, our goal to make you feel good. That was the case for the holidays around here, like when the owner of Toast surprised her staff around the New Year with an all-expense-paid trip to Disney.
It just means so much to us knowing that she would do something that huge for all of us.
One of America's biggest 4th of July bashes in Bristol goes smoothly thanks to 2 of their longest-serving volunteers.
We do it because we love it.
Pumpkins with a Purpose in South Kingstown is volunteer-run. Money from sales goes to feed the homeless.
People are so generous.
A Cranston man carves craft pumpkins year-round, making his house the house of 1,000 pumpkins.
It's what I live for.
And honoring businesses that are gone but not forgotten, a Smithfield man has a creative cemetery.
I hope it brings a smile to their face.
Things got strange in North Providence. Stephen Simoneau and his daughter created a homemade life-size display of the popular Netflix series Stranger Things.
Put a lot of work into it. To see that they enjoy it gives you pride.
Business owners and employees have done their part to keep kindness in the community. When winter rolled around in January, local HVAC company Superior Comfort gifted a heating system to a family in need.
If, I was ever in need, I would hope somebody was there to help me.
And with the cost of everything going up, Stonington police grew their beards to pay people's electric bills.
And this just gives us a really great chance to give back.
A Fall River salon owner offered free hair and makeup for kids going to prom.
About 7:30. Morning.
Jamestown crossing guard James Shaw is the reason students and staff smile every day at the Melrose School.
I think a wave and a smile can go a long ways.
And a Dartmouth woman whose pet pug passed away makes handmade scarves and sells them. She uses the money to pay other people's vet bills.
It warms your heart knowing that it's going to make a difference.
Still ahead, Southern New England is home to some pretty talented people.
Lots of crazy cool things happen this year. Stick with us.
Welcome back. Thanks so much for sticking with us.
Creativity comes at no cost, and people from all over have used their trades and talents to do a lot of good. An 86-year-old Portsmouth man and lifelong fisherman opened a fish print museum, inviting the community to check out his art for free.
For me, life begins at 86.
Kaylee Chambers' artwork was selected to be on reusable shopping bags in home goods stores all over the country. The Woonsocket teen is battling cancer. Sales from the bags went to the Jimmy Fund.
It was exciting. I was also kind of nervous. I don't know why.
And a Bedford man loves Ghostbusters so much he transformed his car into Ecto. A Swansea boys farm stand was a sellout success every weekend.
Are you proud of your garden?
So proud.
Staff and students surprise a Westerly teacher with a Harry Potter bench in memory of her brother who passed.
It was just very special.
A Fall River mom is on a mission to make all children feel welcome. She was inspired by her son to open a sensory-sensitive play place.
It's amazing to see how many people are coming from all over the place.
What can I get for you?
And owners of the Dell's Lemonade in Warren put on a solo art show for a local nonverbal artist who loves lemonade to showcase her work.
The minute I heard that she was doing Dell's pieces, I said, let's have a gallery night.
The saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure, proves true for twin brothers from West Warwick.
They're using their resources to give back to the community.
Right off the road at 86 Church Street in West Warwick.
We just got tired of making excuses. We just got tired of it.
Twin brothers Ryan and Sean Fitzgerald say their prayers were answered 3 years ago after being homeless and helpless.
We used to drink a lot. We were alcoholics. And I decided that I got sick of living my life the way I did. We always have helped people, but how can you help people when you can't help yourself, right?
Ryan regrets his face tattoos, and they both say they've made some poor decisions in the past, which have been a driving force behind their booming business.
There's a lot of people that talk about doing things, and there's people that do things, and we are doers.
To help others get things done too, 3 months ago, they started Hocus Pocus junk removal because they take everything unwanted and make it disappear. Recently, they've been making their own magic of sorts. Instead of dumping all of the unwanted junk from a hired job, they take the time to go through it and save what's worthwhile.
I really try to have the highest quality of stuff to get back because I don't want anybody taking junk from me. That's what the landfill is for.
After coming to a consensus of what was once trash turned possible treasure, they leave it out free for the taking. They aren't policing what people are doing.
It's like a damn McDonald's over here. It's all hours of the night.
It's literally all hours of the night.
But they hope it's going into the hands of those who could use a little help.
Anybody in Rhode Island that thinks they need something, they're welcome to grab from us.
There's been kids' clothes and furniture, appliances and other items. Of course, they could attempt at selling it themselves, but they want it to benefit others.
Everybody's having a tough time right now, and, everybody's struggling.
The Fitzgeralds say they know how it feels to struggle. Besides tackling and treating their own addiction, to add fuel to the fire right around that same time, their mom passed away. Though she wasn't able to see their transformation, they're hoping to make her proud. And on the curb they were once kicked to is a reminder of brighter days.
I know I'm doing something good, so when I lay my head down at night, I get to go to bed knowing I did something positive.
We've experienced lots of cool things.
And met tons of amazing, unique people.
Every month, the Ocean State merfolk meet at a local YMCA for some fun and swimming. A Pawtucket couple has visited more than 2,000 breweries. Their basement is full of mementos. North Kingstown sisters start every morning off with a smile, bringing their chicken brownie to the bus stop.
I think Brownie really enjoyed it, how she got to see a new thing.
Right off of Route 4, a mystery is solved. A local man and his family plant this huge daffodil heart in memory of their loved one who passed away.
Terry's huge heart, and that's what he had, was a huge heart.
Wait, what? Taking love to new heights. 2 eye doctors in training were engaged on the helipad of Rhode Island Hospital.
I wanted to do it at the hospital because I felt like that's where we met. Like, we did these Wednesdays together.
And a Westerly woman's engagement ring and how she got it is 1 in a million.
Literally. Right off of Main Street in downtown Westerly, where the Pawtucket River flows freely. The Bridge Restaurant and Raw Bar has a booming business, especially in the summer months.
We do a buckshuck special 7 days a week, so it draws a lot of crowd.
But year-round, locals Sandra Sikorsky and Ken Steinkamp come here for the quahogs. While the mollusks are always a must-have for the pair. In December of 2021, Ken was a gentleman when he offered up the last one of their order.
No, you have it. You really like these.
But when Sandy went to slurp it down, something wasn't right.
So I take it and spit it down on the down in my hand, and I put it on the table. My sister-in-law goes, "Is that a tooth?"
It wasn't a tooth, but instead a beautiful pearl that came out of the clam.
What are the odds of a pearl being inside this shell?
While many people don't realize it, just like an oyster, clams can produce a mineral of something similar. So Sandy kept the stone and took it to a local jeweler.
And he said, well, the weight of this and the size of it's probably 50 years.
Who told her it's a Mercenaria pearl, and the odds of finding one that size is extremely rare.
He goes, it's probably 1 in a million.
With the perfect pearl and the perfect girl. On July 8th, Ken got down on one knee.
He said, this would be a great engagement ring.
After input from Sandy on the setting, 9.8 millimeters of meaningfulness is now positioned proudly on her finger. And to celebrate, the newly engaged couple came back to the bridge to let them know the good news.
It's a fairy tale. It's magical.
And while it wasn't on the menu,
would you ever think that you were gonna get something like this?
Never, not in a million years.
They're as happy as a clam.
The Bridge Jewelry Store, an engagement center.
Coming up, a Johnston woman with a lot of love for her grandson leaves a lasting impression.
You don't want to miss it. Welcome back. Now to a story about a labor of love.
A Johnston woman gives a gift to her grandson that will live on forever. 71-year-old Carolyn Paradise puts a pencil to paper.
You can get just lost in it.
As she draws giant giraffes.
Every giraffe is different, the different blocks that he has on his or her body.
For what she hopes one day,
Caramel, my grandson named it,
could be book number 2.
It's really hard to get a book published these days.
Having moved from Maine to Rhode Island to help take care of her now 8-year-old grandson, Benny, illustration and imagination has always been a big deal.
I was a librarian for almost 30 years.
And in 2015, after countless trips together to local libraries, Carolyn was inspired by her favorite boy.
We're crazy about each other.
and his favorite animal.
My grandson loved giraffes, and I saw a picture of giraffes and I thought it was beautiful.
From there, she started crafting a children's book, Giraffes Count.
I would be up all night some nights just working on this and not even realize how late it was.
She worked tirelessly putting the pieces together in hopes her book would someday sit on the shelves she once serviced.
I've always wanted to.
Published in 2019, it was a dream come true for her and her grandson.
He was excited.
They were able to make one trip to a library to promote the book, but then COVID came about. And unfortunately, so did cancer.
It's a breast cancer, but it metastasized, and they've tried everything. So there's nothing left for me to do. I'm in hospice officially, home hospice.
Carolyn says the creations help keep her going. She's in her own element when she's able to work.
My family's wonderful, but just the idea that you're lying around waiting to die, it's just, and you don't have the energy to do what you used to do, that's really hard.
But out of everything, of all the achievements, what really means the most is upstairs.
I was pleased with how it turned out.
Not only does Benny keep her book close,
I've been pleased even more to see my grandson. He's making his own books.
But perhaps one day he'll follow in her footsteps.
And I think he'll keep going.
And continue to do what he loves.
To my dear grandson, Benny.
Thanks to who he loves.
Who inspired me with his love of giraffes.
Unfortunately, shortly after that story aired, Carolyn lost her battle. We want to thank her family for being so kind and sharing her story.
And we want to thank you for inviting us into your home tonight. We are so thankful for viewers like you. And if you enjoyed this evening, we have even more planned.
Join us Christmas Day for an entire hour-long Something Good special. We want to wish you and your loved ones a happy holiday.